Rewatchers Council is back. Ferris Muthana. For goodness sakes, it's been a minute.
Been a
Been a
minute.
little minute. Snark here, guys. Happy to be back. Happy to be talking Buffy. Lots going on this Let's Get Ready network here over the summer with the World Cup going on. I've had to do a few things as well. But, yes, what an episode to come back to. Okay,
Yes.
first off, Ferris, how you doing, pal?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Like we said, there's a lot of stuff happening at the channels. The post credits. We have the watch along reviews of House of Dragon every Sunday
Sure.
between Justin and Greg. On our sister channel, the sports channel, Good Friends, Better Rivals. It's the World Cup. We've been doing watch alongs, breaking down stuff, having fun. Witnessed Canada destroy a team. We witnessed Canada beat a team at the death. It's been tremendous. America's won some matches. We're happy here, man.
Yeah, there's a controversy. There's big wins.
Hmm.
Everything you're gonna want in a World Cup,
Absolutely.
you're getting it. And also right here on Let's Get Ready Network. And shout out to Adelia, council member Adelia Chamberlain,
Hmm.
doing a fantastic job with so many watch-alongs. Okay, even a bunch of too many teams. I've said it before. Just too many teams.
Yeah, 48.
Too many. Okay, let's get into Flooded, season 6, episode 4. Its original air date, pal. It's October 16th of 2001. Written by Doug Petrie, which the last one he wrote was Way of the World. And Jane Espenson helped out with this one too. The last one she wrote herself was Afterlife. Now, Doug Petrie is also going to direct this episode.
Hmm.
First time he does any directing here on the Buffy show. Good for him. Number one movie. Your United States of America there. Co-host of the World Cup. Still Training Day. Training Day is the number
Nice.
one movie. Number one song in the U.S. Fallen by Alicia Keys.
It's a good song.
It's a lovely song. The number one song in the UK, and for me, the song that wins the week. An absolute classic from an Australian who a lot of people just figure is British. Can't Get You Out of My Head by
Kylie
Kylie
Minogue.
Minogue.
Nice.
Yep, absolute banger. Number one song in Canada was Completely by Serial Joe. You can forget about it. Forgettable. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
Now, the DVD synopsis. Warren, Andrew, and Jonathan. Bothersome geeks who Buffy had to deal with before. Yeah.
Hmm.
Patience that she had to deal with them before. Have now banded together to form a supervillains team whose new mission is to kill the Slayer. I don't know if that's their mission. At least to start off, it wasn't their mission. We'll see that anyways. Yeah, because we've never seen Andrew take on.
They've really graduated to murder, which is a sad sight to see.
Well, not let's say not all of them. Not
Hmm.
all of them. We never see Andrew take on the Slayer before, of course. His brother Tucker, of course, we saw take on the Slayer before. Well, not even the Slayer. He just took on the Grad. He's the one who set out the demon dogs or whatever at graduation. He reminds Warren and Jonathan that he summoned monkey demons to attack the gym. They'll take a beat and say, "Oh yeah." Of course, that never happened on the show.
Hmm.
But pardon me. Before we do that, of course, we have to deal with the sad news of Anthony Shorthead passing away since the last time we did the show. Give me one sec.
Oh, Rob, hope you're okay.
I'm fine. I'm trying.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm trying to get over a cold, and of course, I get something in my throat just as
Hmm.
we start. Now, he passed away at age 72 from pneumonia, of all things. Exactly 6 months after his wife passed away from thyroid cancer, Sarah Fisher. Terrible, absolutely awful. They had this, especially she, I believe, started this thing called Tilly Farm, which was an animal sanctuary for like horses, donkeys, and ponies and stuff like
Hmm.
that. You will see, I believe, the farm next season, and you'll see Anthony Stewart had actually riding his own horse, I believe, at that time as well. This is why he isn't a full-time cast member anymore. Even though he shows up on half the episodes
Mm-hmm.
in season 6 and season 7, he's spending his time in England with his family. His two wives, or his two, sorry, his two daughters as well, Emily and Daisy. Both of them have become actresses too. So while he's over there, he's turning into more British stuff, of course. He does Little Britain, among other things. He was the PM on Little Britain, I think. So he's showing some comedic chops.
Mm-hmm.
Doctor Who, of course, he did that stuff. He did Merlin. He was
He was in Merlin.
Uther Pendragon,
Ooh.
father of King Arthur. On Merlin, I know that because my wife started watching that show, and I yelled at the television, "Hey, that's Giles!" So he was on that, and of course, he played another Rupert. This time, maybe not as good a person.
Yep, Rupert Mannion.
Even though Rupert Giles does murder a man by smothering him in this show, the other guy's probably worse because he owns West Ham United and of course Ted Lasso, despicable, just showing his range.
That's how I know him. I know him as the guy who played the two Ruperts. I was like, this man only played named Rupert. Like
the two Ruperts. Now,
yeah.
he was universally loved and admired throughout the cast. You've heard about stories about, maybe some didn't get along. Everybody adored this guy, supposedly. Juliet Landau, who plays Drusilla, of course, had a lovely tribute to him on her podcast, Revamped. The one that really got me was Alison Hannigan's, saying stuff how she couldn't find the words, and that just how much she loved him and she was gonna miss him forever. And then SMG has to go in afterwards and say, he loved you so dearly, Allie. That was hard. And I was going through my own kind of family stuff at the time. It was just two kicks in the stomach when all that happened. Absolutely sad news, and rest in peace, Tony Head, and anybody who ever worked and cared for the man. Hearts up to you for sure. Okay, let's get into this episode because he's a big part of this episode.
Yes, he is.
Now, starts with there's a little plumbing trouble at the Summers household. I don't know. Now, she tries a couple of things, and all of a sudden, water just goes everywhere, and everything starts filling in the basement here. Do they not have sump pumps in Sunnydale? Like, is that not a California thing to have a sump pump? Do you know what a sump pump is? Okay,
Rob. Rob, I've been living in apartments for the last 15 years.
Well, sump pump is something that helps get water out of basements because there's always strange things or whatever. You have to make sure water comes out. So, usually because there's been so much water around here lately, I always constantly hear mine. Maybe at my hotel, it didn't quite have enough speed to it because there's so much water coming in. We've had a terrible mess at the hotel. But now, she gets told they're going to need a full copper repipe, Ferris. That is absolute baloney jargon. For one thing, copper piping is only used in hot water. So you should be able to just turn the hot water pipe off. If you have to do that, it would be in one spot. That's all you would have to change out. It would never have that much water in it either. Like, I'm sorry, Doug and Jane. Maybe do a little plumbing.
Yeah, do some plumbing research, man. What's up with this?
Plumbing research.
I mean, call your plumber. He'll tell you.
Ridiculous. A full copper repipe is something I've never heard of in my entire life. Anyways, we're going to get more, bickering between Anya and Xander. She's saying, well, maybe Buffy, to get some extra money, you could just charge for the slaying.
Mm-hmm.
Which, maybe a bad idea, sure. But that's something to build on. Maybe not do that for money, but maybe doing like bodyguarding slash, whatever else, some kind of strength thing, work. There's work to be done.
Mm-hmm.
If you're Buffy Summers and you have all these powers, there's adjacent work. Maybe just not for the slaying and stuff like that. But they get into this big fight. It says Spider-Man charges for slaying or doing his work or whatever, and
which he doesn't. I don't know where they got that from.
They fight back on that, and when Xander says action is his reward, it's like, yeah,
it's pretty much, yeah.
It's in the theme song. Also, he also has radioactive blood, which is, I'm not sure if that's the same.
And he's literally your neighborhood-friendly Spider-Man. He's just helping the neighborhood.
Close. He's pretty close to what that is. Yeah. Yes, he's friendly neighborhood.
He doesn't charge
Spider-Man.
people $10 to save their life.
Yeah.
One, that's pretty cheap to save someone's life, $10.
Not much.
Yeah, it's not much. But yeah, no, he's doing it. He's doing it because he's Spider-Man, and he's the best in the world.
That's right. So they have a little bit of a fight. She's gonna walk out and she's gonna try and smooth it over, saying the right things. He wants every step to be right before he tells anybody, which is all kind of baloney stuff. But she takes it, at face value for a little bit. She kisses him, and then, she's like, oh, wait a minute. Like, you keep stalling all this crap or whatever. It's time to man up here, buddy. You're, all of 21 years old now, and the head of a construction bit, and yeah.
Construction crew.
There's a lot going on at sea for them. Anyways, Buffy has to try and get a loan. Buffy, of course, has no job. They say, as they're turning her down, that she has the value of her house has depreciated so much. I don't know how this has happened. Maybe it's just a Sunnydale thing where houses mean nothing. Maybe that's
because everyone's always dying in this town. Things are always being destroyed.
Yep.
Things are always, being toppled, taken over. Zombies have run amok.
Never mind the window cost.
Exactly.
Ridiculous.
Their high school, their mayor tried to kill everybody. So I'm pretty sure developers are like, you know what? Forget about this town. We're done.
Probably why Joyce managed to get such an amazingly huge house.
Exactly.
On a single mother's income.
Also, and why Buffy and Dawn haven't been kicked out yet. Because they're like, your only source of income to pay the property taxes. The property taxes on that house is probably like $5.
Yeah. There are other costs, though. And they get into all that stuff, too. It's like, while she was dead, the house kept, they said, costing her money, which if it was owned, it'd be difficult to figure out, except for the property taxes. But, there was bills to be paid for electrical, blah, blah, blah,
oh,
whatever.
Wait.
All these things of whatever
we forgot
they were
something,
paying.
Rob. We forgot something.
What's that?
She has a father.
But she has a father that didn't know she was dead. Remember that.
That's a valid point.
So it's not like they're going to go ask for money because,
That's good point.
Yeah. But they also have this money depleting, all of Joyce's insurance, because it turns out when you get sick in America, you go into debt.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's the most realistic part of this entire TV show, right there.
By the way, a happy Canada. It's a post Canada Day. Happy Canada Day.
Yeah.
To all of you who've had
Rob, when you watch a TV
family
show,
members get sick, and not go broke.
Exactly, Rob. You know when I know a movie's unrealistic?
Sure.
Is when they go to the hospital and they leave without minimal debt. That's not real.
I see the horror stories, and I just I just don't get it. I can't get it.
I'm generally shocked that my family didn't go in debt when I had to go to the hospital in middle school. my appendix exploded, and I had to stay. I had to like hospital stays.
Yeah.
I had to stay in the hospital for like a week and a half
Yeah.
or 2 weeks while they were pumping out goo out my body. And I'm like, and I'm 12, I'm 11. I don't know what's going on. And I never felt like we went broke.
My brother got that about the same time, but it didn't explode. They got it in time. My buddy got it when we were 16 years old, maybe 17. Yeah, he thought he just drank too much for a couple of days while his body was poisoning itself. Yeah, got that.
You can
for
survive
for free.
Yeah.
By the way.
Me, I think it was for free. I
hope so.
I don't know.
I hope so. It's not really for free if you have to keep paying for the insurance. But
Yeah.
anyways, so she tries to get this bank loan. A demon shows up.
Robin.
Yes,
Robin.
Broad
daylight.
More assaulting. He's more about the violence.
He didn't even take any money.
No. Well, there was a couple other jerks that show up and said, well, while this jerk is doing all this stuff, while you're like doing the whole magic trip, look over here. Well, we're doing this over here kind of thing. So then she asks afterwards, she beats up this demon. He takes off. It's like, now about that loan, pal. No. Does not actually get the loan. Willow's all confused about why this wouldn't happen and stuff like that. It's like, well, things cost money. Money's more important than demon safety. Even in Sunnydale, which means a lot and stuff like that. And, they're trying to get Buffy worked up for all this. They're trying to get more emotion to come out of Buffy because she's been, a little static since coming back to life, for goodness sakes. She tries to start talking about how she had a fling with Riley and then a fling with Angel and all this stuff. And now, by the way, Anya's trying to, again, convince Xander it's time to start talking or whatever. Almost tell everyone the news, after she gets called a chicken and all this stuff. But while all this fighting's going on, everything gets kind of quieted down because Giles shows up. And, just drops the bag, and it's a big hug for Buffy. She hugs him back. He has to, of course, mention about her Slayer strength crushing him. But an incredibly emotional part. I'm glad when I did all these notes and stuff like that I had done this before, that we heard about Tony Head and stuff like that. So anyways, she looks at him, calls her, she says that she's a miracle and stuff like that. He agrees, but he says that she's always been a miracle to him. That's hard stuff to watch back on now and just talk about now, just thinking about what just happened and stuff like that. Anyways, you got to see that demon walking around and stuff like that, just wandering. I don't know why they put that scene in. It didn't really make any sense. Anyways, they show Buffy and Giles back in the danger room. They're going over some stuff. He was talking about his place in Bath. He talks about going, at the Watchers Council for a bit. He wasn't there very long. He was only there for a week or something like that. She starts talking about the drama of sleeping confident like that, and then she's waking up or whatever is harder than going to sleep. And so all this other stuff. She tries to get back into training. They see all the Scoobies in the shop now. Anya finally hugs him, makes sure that he knows that he isn't getting the shop back, that he signed papers. The most Anya thing in the world, which is why she's great. Anyways, we find out all the stuff about this thing called the Mafashnik. Dawn was always saying maybe it's fashion, cookies. Turns out she was right. It is cookies. Anyways, we get to see Mafashnik now demanding the head of the Slayer from his new masters, the trio. The blood-curdling trio.
Yeah, that really strike fear
Warren,
in the hearts of
Jonathan,
everybody.
and Andrew, of course, Tucker's brother Andrew. So they each have their own kind of thing. Warren is like a mad scientist, maybe inventor. He can get, he builds things. Of course, he built the Buffy bot. We know that Jonathan can do spells. He had everybody in the world thinking he was the coolest guy ever. And also a professional basketball player at his height, like Spud Webb.
Mm-hmm.
But better.
I was trying to recognize where I saw them from. I was like, where this? And then then I was confused. And then like they started talking shit to each other. Or like, well, at least I didn't have to build a girlfriend. I was like, oh, that's the robot guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's the robot girlfriend guy.
Yep.
And then that's the and then the short one is the guy, like the episode that you like that I don't like,
mm-hmm.
that he becomes like a superhero because of some magic thing. Superstar, yeah, it's that little annoying shithead, and then
he's been around forever. He's been around.
Yeah, and then I don't remember I don't know the third.
You shouldn't remember Andrew. You never saw him before, except he was also the actor that plays him was also, of course, one of Harmony's minions, Tom Lank. When she had that thing or whatever, but it's Buffy. Put on, take off the makeup and you can put him as a different guy. It's going to happen again this season with another character. It's happened also before with the judge and who's that first vampire? Was he Lucas? I can't remember. Anyways, can't remember the name. Anyways, Tom Lake, what writes and produces and stuff. That's all kinds of stuff now. Anyways, they have to say because Brad Kane couldn't make it back as Tucker for this season because he had other stuff. He was the voice of Aladdin, mind you. I don't know if there was Aladdin stuff to do at this time in 2000, 2001? 2001.
Yeah, no, there shouldn't be any Aladdin stuff.
Who knows? Maybe there was Aladdin adjacent stuff. Who knows? Anyways, turns out these are the guys who got in Fashnik or whatever. They got these bags of money now. They got beanbag chairs. Fashnik wants to know who the leader is. Of course, everyone thinks they're the leader until Fashnik says he wants to kill the leader. Then everybody, points at everyone else and stuff like that. You'll see which Jonathan doesn't think it's fair that he gets pointed out as the leader. Anyways, they say they're going to pay him, and Fashnik doesn't take cash. He just wants to know, he wants to know where the Slayer is and stuff like that. They have to say this whole thing where, they're not killers. They would never do any of this stuff. They would never let Fashnik, suck dry the bones of these guys or whatever and stuff like that. That they just want to, live or whatever. But, Warren isn't as, uptight about having somebody else get killed.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to know more about that later, but he's also going to give Fashnik the little note as to where the Slayer is at some point here and stuff like that. I don't know how he has her address just in his hand and stuff like that. It's like, this is where she lives. And it's like, don't worry about it. But anyways, Buffy sets Giles up on the couch. They have a nice little talk out there or whatever for the night. Giles, always wondering if she's just putting too much pressure on herself. He's still in the mindset that she came back from hell. She doesn't tell him the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Figured that's the guy you tell the truth to, Buffy. Just saying, like if
she's still dealing with them things, man.
If she told him not to tell,
mm-hmm.
he wouldn't. It's like you can't tell him. Like she finds it in spike to not say anything. Anyways, he promises they're going to work out all this money problems and stuff like that she's having in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the deal. Why don't they just go to the council for cash? What is going on here? These guys seem to be pretty rich. They've got, they have, wet work teams flying out to get rogue slayers, You know what I mean? They seem to have a pretty impressive amount of actually people working there. Pay for the Slayer's expenses. It shouldn't be. It should not be very difficult for all this to happen. Anyways, doesn't matter. Uh, they said, "Well, we'll take care of it later." Now,
Mm-hmm.
again, Jonathan and Andrew again saying, they don't want Buffy dead. You know, but Andrew's also going, or Warren's going. He's pulling rank because it's his mom's place that they're hanging out at. We're gonna find out their super cool mission statement, and I had to write down because they had a bunch of little points
Rob,
here.
Rob, isn't it a little on the nose? You have these three dorks in a mother's basement.
Yeah, well, they're 20 years old, slackers, kind of incredibly smart. They could do better. They could imagine how much money Warren could make if he used his robotic knowledge for good.
That's
Or
what I'm
even evil.
saying.
If he worked for the government, he'd make millions.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Anyways, they like playing Dungeons and Dragons and all those other geek stuff. So they do write down their super cool mission statement. That is to control the weather. All right, whatever. They're going to miniaturize Fort Knox, which doesn't make sense either. They're going to conjure fake IDs, which is smart. They're going to get a shrink ray. They have 2 points just saying girls on this.
Mm-hmm.
And the gorilla thing. They just have one that says the gorilla thing. Maybe a little vague, but you never know when a gorilla thing might come in handy, no matter
Mm-hmm.
what. So, one other thing they also wrote down was about jetpacks. That thing, something you might want to keep in mind. So, they vote not to kill Buffy, but this is where Warren says, "Oh no, we're gonna here, buddy. Here's the thing. Just go do this or whatever."
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, now one of the show's most famous scenes is what happens after that with Giles going into the kitchen at night and Willow being there, and he isn't seemingly too pleased to see her with the series. She just asked him if isn't it awesome that Buffy's back? He just kind of acknowledges it.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to know the spell that she did. She gets very excited about this and says how scary it was, and she's even chuckling when she does it. He does not seem amused by all this at all. Talks about
Mm-hmm.
like the snake barfing that she did. Now she had to keep it together with all these demons fighting. He calls her a very stupid girl. Now this is like probably the angriest you've seen. Even when Giles killed a man, he didn't seem this angry.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, you just calls her a very stupid girl. Obviously, she wasn't expecting to be called that. As if she considered the harm this would cause and the lines that would cross to do it. She just thought he'd be impressed by all this. He trusted her to respect Mother Nature more than anyone else. She said, "You brought Buffy back, but at an incredible risk." She asked,
Mm-hmm.
"A risk of what? Would we make her deader?" She's fighting back on him for everything. He just says, "Well, the end of the world, possibly that could have happened."
Yeah.
But she just says she did what
Spells
no one
are
else. Yeah,
spells are volatile. You don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know the ripple effects it
there's
has on
always there's
always a
always,
ripple effect
yeah.
on the universe. You don't know. She was probably supposed to die, and you have fought back on fate. Fate's a dangerous thing in these TV shows and all of shows that deal with supernatural occurrences. Something bad happened by saving her, and also too, the demons messed up your spell, so you didn't fully bring her back because there's definitely something still dead inside of her.
There's something they think there's something wring. They've already had one consequence
Mm-hmm.
This is nothing close to being, world ending. What could have happened and stuff like that. She says that she did what no one else could. She said, no, no, there are people that could have done this, and you would not want to meet them. She says, no, no, those are bad guys. I'm a good guy. Tells him you should be congratulating me. Like, she wants to praise. Like, we've seen this a couple of times with Willow now. It's gonna get worse from her as well. He tells her that Buffy being back is wonderful, but tells her that she was lucky. She says, no, 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 I was amazing. Like, me. She says the magics are too ferocious and primal for you to understand what's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, he says you're a rank, arrogant amateur.
That was legit.
She says, she starts talking about, my magics are powerful, Giles, and it'd be best if you don't piss me off. So it's like, oh. Willow and Giles right at the start of this thing or whatever, and then of course she's gonna switch it back up. She's like, she doesn't want to fight. She's just be happy that Buffy's back. For goodness sakes, he reminds her that they're unsure where she was. So maybe he's kind of hinting that he doesn't truly believe when he's saying that she got back from hell and stuff like that. But he says, what happened to her? You're glad that she doesn't know. He doesn't know she's actually back undamaged. He's unsure about all of that stuff. Anyways, we get more Buffy and Spike talk here. Going around the kitchen and stuff like that. This whole bringing Buffy and Spike thing, which so many people really stand, I guess. It's like, every time I see it, it just drives me nuts. Anyways, he promises that, if you want me to get rid of some of these guys, I'll do it for you. I don't even care about the headache or whatever. Anyways, we get a little cutesy talk between Buffy and Spike, for God's sake. So, Dawn and Giles now get to talk a little bit. Always nice to see Dawn and Giles talk. They had a really good relationship, but he notices someone fooling with a door handle. It gets busted open. Dawn goes flying. Here comes Fashnik. He's gonna KO. Giles. So,
add it to the board.
For the first time, and I don't know how long here, buddy. We're gonna add it to the board. If I can get this thing even open, the thing is broken, so it won't go. What I will do. Oh, here's one. Here we go. Number 12.
Number 12.
It's on there. The marker's dead. So, there we go. Anyways. I was waiting for it to hit. It took a long time. Anyways, so, and Fashnik then is going to turn his attention to Dawn because the Slayer's around. She screams, Buffy's going to show up. Coffee table's going to break. And now all these things are going to start happening. There's going to be a serving dish broken. There's going to be a vase that almost breaks. There's literally breaks. There's going to be, the windows and stuff like that. This is now going to start doing a cash register in Buffy's head. And now, by the end, she's going to understand. Her mom had to go through some shit with what she would have to do as her calling. But, I'm guessing prices are pretty cheap for this kind of stuff in Sunnydale. You'd imagine it would actually be quite a bit more. But she's going to take Fashnik into the basement to fight. This place is still flooded. This is a good day afterwards. And how can a plumber say, full copper pipe, and not just suggest, first we're going to get a
water out of here.
A sump pump in here. Get the water out. For goodness sakes, get the water out. It's not even a hard thing. Then, they're going to be fighting, and Fashnik's going to grab a piece of the pipe off. She's going to get all worried about it. The water's hardly dripping and stuff like that. If you're that worried, you turn the water supply off.
Rob, you're having PTSD right now, aren't you, Rob?
I've had some bad times.
Yes.
I've had some bad times when it comes to this stuff. So anyways, turn the water off, Buffy. But she didn't. And it's starting to trickle out and stuff like that. It's like, I don't think you're too worried about that pipe. Anyways, doesn't matter. She's gonna take this pipe from Mephastock and beat him to death with it, while yelling, "No more copper repipe! No more copper repipe!"
And then he drowns.
Yeah, one of the worst things you could hear. Something that doesn't make any sense at all. Well, you're getting beaten to death with a pipe.
Jambalaya! Like, what?
Oh, what's that guy? The guy that attacked Dan Rather outside of CBS News saying, "What's the frequency, Kenneth?" Oh, yeah. That's a
what?
Look that up.
Yeah, I'm too young for that.
REM has a song named after it. But anyways, Trio pretty proud of themselves. Their first foray into combined evil was pretty much a success. I don't know how they found out that Mephastock was dead so fast. Automatically, it's like, oh, Mephastock's dead. Like, I don't know. Well, maybe
because he probably, he didn't check in, so they're probably like, yeah, she killed him.
Anyways, Andrew gets pretty stoked about staying up all night. This is the, maturity level.
Yes.
That he's at.
That we're dealing with.
Yeah, they have a new goal that they're going to add to their own board. Hypnotize Buffy. Of course, they only write down hypnotize Buffy. It was supposed to be hypnotize Bunny, so they'll be their unwilling sex bunny, which isn't cool at all. But they're going to take a little bit of time. Jonathan's going to light a cigar with a $100 bill, like a big shot, and then have a little trouble getting the dollar bill to get extinguished. But anyways, they're pretty happy with how easy their success went. Should be pretty easy the rest of the way. So, audience going to do up a new total. This is what you now owe Buffy. You're going to be shocked by the amount. She's going to wonder how her mom kept paying for all this stuff. It's like, yeah, we all wondered that too. On this program,
she must have been one of the leader of the archaeologists at this museum or something, man. Or like the museum must have been paying her some good cash.
Local archaeological museums must pay a fortune. Now, she doesn't know who hired or who raised this Mephastock, who would be working for her. Can't go on to talk about it now because she killed the guy with a goddamn pipe. So Willow's going to suggest a locator spell and gets a glare from Giles. So it's like, oh, okay, you don't have to do locator spells. But anyways, Xander, remember, is a carpenter.
Yes.
He can't figure out, A, how to fix a broken coffee table, or B, how to just make them a new goddamn coffee table. Like, this is stuff that you learn in grade 10 Woods class with Mr. Kirichenko.
I would have loved it, man. I would have loved if they offered wood shop at my high school, man. I would have taken wood shop.
Yeah, I did. I did for 3 years.
Oh, you lucky, Rob. Wood shop or auto shop?
I showed up for maybe 20% of all of those classes, and I still got a passing grade.
I would have loved that class.
Oh, sorry, I said Kirichenko. That was my biology teacher. Mr. Kluchuk was my woods teacher, and he could say, how much wood can a Kluchuk chuck if a Kluchuk could chuck wood? There you go. And he'd also give me shit for smoking at the, outside the doors. Stuff like that. He was a wonderful man. Now, anyways, the Scoobs are going to leave, to take out the coffee table and burn it. Dawn hangs around. Giles is going to, trying to put Buffy at ease, saying, your mom handled this stuff all the time. We have to take this one crisis, do it, move on to the next one. You'll be able to do it. Buffy hears the phone call. She has to run and get it. Dawn just says that it's probably creditors. They've been trying to get at them and stuff like that, and wonders if they're going to starve. Giles says, I doubt it. I doubt it. Of course, nobody who's been living in this house this entire time has had a job. Like, Willow and Tara have been there that whole time, never contributed 1 cent. How are they getting off scot-free and all this? Anyways. So, Buffy's going to come back in.
Because Willow and Tara kind of moved into Buffy's house, right?
Right away. They moved into her mom's room.
Yeah.
So, anyways. Buffy's gonna come back in. It's like, that was Angel. I have to get out of here. I have to go see him. So, okay, well, we'll just pick up this Bill's figuring out thing in the morning. It's like, no. I got to get out of here pronto. There's this place, midway between LA and here that we've never heard of before, ever. And, when have they ever used this? They never have.
Inglewood.
But there's this place. It's Inglewood. Now, it's like, well, I'm out here. We got to take care of this. But I'm out. And thanks for taking care of this for me. I'm gone. And she leaves. And Don and Giles are like, what's this? This is something that Giles is feared of from before. But we're going to get into that later. Next time, Ferris. Buffy's going to try tackling the workforce.
Yes. Good. Good. Get a job. Be a better person.
Yeah, it's going to get a little Groundhog Day Z a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Also, of course, there's Kitten Poker, which makes me pretty happy because one of my favorite side characters is finally going to show up. Anyways, Live Serial is the next episode we're doing. Rewatchers Council will be back tomorrow for the Angel Edition.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be talking about that old gang of mine. Not a great episode of Angel. We're going to say that right now, but we'll talk about it tomorrow. Ferris, got anything to say before we get out of here?
No, in about 10 minutes on our sister channel, Good Friends, Better Rivals, our watch along of Portugal, Croatia in this World Cup knockout stages is going to be live. So after you hit the like button and subscribe on this channel, hop on over there and hit the like and subscribe over there. Our goal was 500. We got 528. Now our new goal is 550. So we're just building on just building and building and building.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us. I'm so happy to be back talking about Buffy. It's just like a nice warm blanket. Anyways, we will be back. Oh, I assure you. And until then, in the words of Fashnik, please like and subscribe. We'll see you all again next time.